Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB and today is the 17th of June 2026 Satoshi, and today according to me is a really important day because today is when the FOMC announcement kicks in, and according to me Satoshi, the FOMC announcement will have a massive impact not just on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies but also for the stock market world. And I'm right in saying that the FOMC announcement does actually impact average individuals, and I'm not just talking about the United States of America, probably the entire world as well.
George, you're absolutely right. The anticipation around the FOMC announcement is quite significant, and you've hit the nail on the head regarding its potential influence. It's not just about those in the know. Everyday people feel the effects too, whether they're considering a mortgage or watching the price of goods. This truly has global ramifications.
Absolutely, and there are just three outcomes, isn't it? At the FOMC announcement, most likely they'll keep the interest rate, reduce it or increase it. Now later on in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and discuss the impact on all of these three scenarios. Now what is important to know, Satoshi, right now? President Donald Trump is having back-to-back meeting with leaders at the G7 event, and according to me, this is going to be iconic. And here's the thing, Satoshi, on the 19th of this month, there's going to be a peace agreement signing between Iran and the United States of America. Now it's important to note, guys, the virtual document has already been signed, but this is more of a physical ceremony that is scheduled to take place. And according to me, look, Satoshi, this is definitely a historic moment because no other president has achieved this, isn't it? And the outcome to this is pretty simple. It's going to be increasing the supply prices, which will eventually reduce the inflation, and there's going to be peace all over the world. So 19th of this month, definitely a lot of actions taking place. And am I right in saying, Satoshi, factors such as this directly impacts the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well?
George, you've laid out a very comprehensive picture there, connecting the FOMC's potential decisions to geopolitics. It's true, developments like the G7 and the peace agreement between the US and Iran can introduce significant market volatility. Things like supply prices and inflation are definitely responsive to such events, which can in turn affect Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, as they're often viewed as both alternative assets and hedges against uncertainty.
That is absolutely correct, Satoshi, and in the Blockchain DXB podcast, we'll definitely go ahead and discuss the impact of macro-level news. Now, the first news, Satoshi, we're going to be talking about is regarding FOMC announcement, but look, the second news is a really interesting one, and this is connected to one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges, that is Kraken, and they have launched crypto perpetual futures. So in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and delve deeper into this. Now, the third news, Satoshi, unfortunately, is not a good news, and one of the mobile games that is connected to Pudgy Penguins, they have decided to completely shut down, and this, according to me, raises a massive question, Satoshi. Was this a rug pull altogether, or does it actually mean that people are just not interested in the game? Now, one of the reasons why this news is interesting is because just few months after the launch, they were #1 in the App Store. So them shutting down in probably less than 2 years definitely does not paint a good picture. But nonetheless, in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and discuss final details regarding this. Now, the final news for today, Satoshi, we're going to be talking about is all the way from Philippines. And here's the thing, guys. They have updated the crypto rules and they're making it tighter to go ahead and build things in the cryptocurrency space. And it is no surprise, guys. They're also putting an outright ban on privacy coins. So in today's episode, Satoshi will definitely go ahead and discuss all of these news. And like we do in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we will be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news, Satoshi, is definitely a massive news. And DMCC, that is Dubai Multi-Commodity Center, they've signed a memorandum of understanding with Tether, and their goal is to advance blockchain, tokenization and digital finance collaboration. And the second news, Satoshi, we're going to be talking about is connected to artificial intelligence and Dubai Municipality, guys. They have created the first virtual spokesperson called Saeed. So in today's episode, we'll go ahead and discuss final details regarding this. So it looks like, Satoshi, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode, isn't it?
You've outlined a busy agenda, covering everything from Kraken's launch to the Philippines' new rules and the exciting development with DMCC and Tether. It's definitely a packed episode.
That is absolutely correct, Satoshi. We definitely have a packed episode. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana, and they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look, guys, whether you're looking into invest in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what, guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, if you want to go ahead and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, Explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, choose your preferred asset category, and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even crypto wallets. No friction and no hassles. And the best part is guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, because they offer 24/6 human customer service, as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part guys, once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code Blockchain DXB. And Amana guys is all markets one app. Next guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Because for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right guys, palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrency is all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas, and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock guys is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25, and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025, as well as ETH Women. And look guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life, so don't just read about it, be there and head to the website that is futuristconference.com, and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you're taking care of that, let's quickly run to the global cryptocurrency market. Now the global cryptocurrency market has marginally picked up pace. It is at $2.34 trillion. And here's the thing guys, if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, it is only at $78.5 billion. Now I'm right in saying Satoshi, this number should have been around the $150 billion mark, because over the weekend, President Donald Trump did actually announce a historical agreement to Senate. But here's where things get interesting, Satoshi. Because FOMC announcement is scheduled to take place later on today, a lot of notorious traders, high net worthy individuals as well as institutional players, they're notoriously clever in trying to manipulate the market. What is your assessment regarding it, Satoshi? Because look, Iran agreement getting signed is definitely positive news, and the oil flow is going to begin in Straits of Hormuz in it. But because of the FOMC announcement today, I'm anticipating a lot of manipulation going on in the cryptocurrency world.
Well, you're right to keep a close eye on that, George. The difference between the current volume and where you'd expect it to be, especially after a significant announcement like the historical agreement, is notable. It's common to see big players try to move the market before and after key news like the FOMC decision. This kind of anticipation can lead to unusual price movements. We might see sharp spikes or dips before things stabilize.
You're absolutely correct, Satoshi, but here's the thing guys, whatever we're saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research. Now that thing being said, Satoshi, one matrix which is not improving, that is the decentralized exchange. And since the last 24 hours, it is still below the $6 billion mark. It is only at $5.83 billion. And the total fees connected for these transactions is at $57.96 million. And if you look at the total value locked, it is down to $74.57 billion. Now look, Satoshi, since the announcement of the peace agreement in Iran, the ETF related to cryptocurrencies have changed from outflows to inflows. Now, because of the FOMC announcement, if you look at crypto-related inflows, it is only at $1.96 million. Now, am I right in saying, after the FOMC announcement, irrespective of the decision, we might be seeing inflows going forwards?
That's a logical interpretation, George. The shift from outflows to inflows after the peace agreement shows investors saw reason to move back into the market. With the FOMC decision coming up, some people might be waiting on the sidelines, but a favorable outcome, or even just clarification, could lead to more inflows going forward as uncertainty decreases.
Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and run to the volume of decentralized exchanges. Do you want to tell our listeners the matrix at the top of our decentralized exchange platform?
Right. Let's talk numbers. It looks like Uniswap is at $1.45 billion. PancakeSwap holds $765.58 million. And Aerodrome is at $551.25 million. Then we have BisonFi at $270.55 million. And Orca at $261.28 million.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. And here's the thing, if you look at the volume of stable coins, according to me, it is the engine of the cryptocurrency world. But surprisingly, guys, the volume hasn't picked up pace, and Tether USDT's volume only is at $64.74 billion. Now look, guys, in order for the price of Bitcoin to reach a new all-time high, only the volume of Tether USDT should be double of what it is, maybe even triple of what it is, around the $180 to $200 billion mark. Only then we can confidently make an assessment that the price of Bitcoin is reaching a new all-time high. So let's see after 19th if the number drastically changes. Now at number second so far the volume of stable coins is concerned is Circle USDC, but its volume is below the $10 billion mark. It is only at $9.77 billion. At number third is FDUSD, but its 24-hour volume is well below the $160 million mark. It is at $159.96 million. Now what I want you to do next, Satoshi, is I want you to read out the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners, please.
Certainly. Looking at Bitcoin, its market cap is around $1.31 trillion, and its 24-hour trading volume is $25.19 billion. It currently dominates the market with 56.60%. For Ethereum, the market cap is $216.20 billion, its trading volume is $14.78 billion, and it holds 8.01% of the market. Finally, Binance BNB has a market cap of $81.56 billion, with $1.34 billion in trading volume.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. And look, in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we tend to look at one new matrix. Today, what I want you to do, Satoshi, is because you're talking some news regarding Philippines, where they're planning to put an outright ban on privacy coins, I thought, why don't you go and look at privacy matrix? Why don't you tell our listeners what is going on in the privacy coin world? And here's the thing, guys, Zcash looks like it is definitely having a massive comeback because its market cap is almost around the $8.50 billion mark, isn't it, Satoshi?
You've got a great point there. Considering the situation in the Philippines, it's definitely worthwhile to look at those privacy metrics. Today, the total privacy market cap sits around $31.5 billion, which is a 1.8% increase in the last day. And you're right, Zcash is showing significant strength with a market cap of $8.48 billion. Monero is also substantial at $6.69 billion, followed by Chainlink and Litecoin in the 6s and 3s respectively, and Near Protocol at just over $3 billion.
Now what I want you to do next, Satoshi, is I want you to read out the price of Bitcoin, tell our listeners what is going on since the last 24 hours and 7 days. As a matter of fact, do the same thing for Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners, please.
Right. Let's talk prices, George. Bitcoin's currently at $65,659. It's down a bit in the last day, specifically 0.79%, but up 6.60% over the last week. Ethereum's price is $1,792, showing some life with a 0.23% rise in the past 24 hours and an impressive 9.57% increase in 7 days. In the world of Binance BNB, the price is $605, down 1.75% since yesterday, but up 2.53% overall this week, George.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi, and it's going to be really interesting to see, based on the FOMC announcement, how the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies would be reacting. Now, at the moment, Satoshi, if you look at the fear and greed index, it is still at fear, and the number associated is 24. Now, look, so far as the FOMC announcement is concerned, it is scheduled to take place at 2:30 p.m. EDT or 10:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. Now, look, Satoshi, with the newly appointed Federal Reserve Board Chair Kevin Walsh, who by the way is nominated by President Donald Trump, it is going to be really interesting to see what the announcement is. Now look guys, it is important that you gotta look at information only from official sources, and if you go to the Federal Reserve Board website, you would actually see a document regarding the FOMC announcement. But more importantly guys, the Federal Reserve Board channel via YouTube will actually be live, where Kevin Warsh, who is the newly sworn in chair of the Federal Reserve Board, will actually go ahead and make the announcement. But here's the thing guys, it is also important to note that the former Federal Reserve Board chair, that is Jerome Powell, is still part of the FOMC committee. Now Satoshi, for an average listener, do you want to tell them what are the key metrics that they tend to look at the FOMC announcement? And after that, I want to have a discussion on the 3 likely outcomes at the FOMC announcement. But before that, Satoshi, why don't you tell our listeners what are the metrics the Board of Governors tend to look at the FOMC announcement?
Well, George, the Federal Reserve typically looks at a combination of factors, most specifically inflation trends, employment numbers, and overall economic growth. They're balancing trying to keep prices stable while supporting job growth.
Now look Satoshi, I'm so glad you talked about inflation and employment numbers. Now so far as US economy is concerned, this is where things are getting interesting. If you look at the employment numbers, they have definitely picked up pace. But at the same time, inflation has also picked up pace. Now the reason for inflation, Satoshi, is pretty simple. There was Operation Epic Fury going on, and I'm talking about war between US as well as Iran, and that was the only reason why the inflation has picked up pace. But last weekend, President Donald Trump did actually make probably the most important announcement in human history, and hopefully going forward we'll be seeing peace agreement in the Middle East. Now my question to you, Satoshi, will they be taking the peace agreement into consideration in deciding things regarding the interest rate?
It's quite possible they will, George. The Federal Reserve definitely pays attention to geopolitical events like potential peace agreements, as those can have a huge impact on things like trade, energy prices, and business confidence. If they believe the peace agreement will lead to more stability and lower prices, that might influence their decision to raise, hold, or even lower rates, depending on what happens with the other factors.
Now look Satoshi, I wanted to get your opinion regarding Kevin Warsh. He's nominated by President Donald Trump. Now do you think there is political pressure for him to go and reduce the interest rate as well? Now look, it is needless to say that should not happen. But what is your assessment regarding political pressure? Do you think based on the political pressure by President Donald Trump, he will actually go out and reduce the interest rate? But at the same time, you also need to remember that the former federal chair, that is Jerome Powell, will also be part of the committee as well, isn't it?
Well, George, political pressure is definitely a potential factor in these decisions. President Trump has been pretty vocal about wanting rates lower, so it's reasonable to think that plays on Warsh's mind. However, he's also a professional who has to consider the actual data and the Federal Reserve's mandate. Plus, having Jerome Powell on the committee adds another layer of experience and independence. They might offset each other.
Now let's go and look at the likely 3 outcomes of the scenario, Satoshi. The first, according to me, is most likely Kevin Warsh and his team of Avengers will actually go and keep the interest rate the same. If that is the case, I do think it'll be great for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But let's say, if he does decide to go and reduce the interest rate, that would be a game changer. The US economy will be great, President Donald Trump will be happy, and more importantly, Satoshi, things will be reflecting positively for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But look, if you do actually go directly by books, because inflation has picked up pace, there is a very high chance he might actually go ahead and increase the interest rate. And if that thing happens, things will definitely not be looking good for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it?
That's a very clear summary of the potential scenarios, George. Keeping rates the same could definitely provide a stable backdrop for cryptocurrencies. And you're right, a cut would likely cause excitement, while an increase, if he follows traditional policy, could be a setback. It all hinges on how they interpret that data, and like you mentioned, balancing those political pressures as well.
Now look guys, I cannot stress this enough. The official information is published by the Federal Reserve Board website, and along with that, the new federal chair, that is Kevin Warsh, will actually go live on YouTube, I believe at 10:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time, so definitely go ahead and check it out. Now in the Blockchain DXB podcast that we release tomorrow guys, we'll definitely go ahead and discuss this. Now let's go ahead and discuss the next news today, Satoshi, and this is connected to CFTC regulated perpetual futures. And the news is that Kraken, which is one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, they have launched CFTC regulated perpetual futures for eligible US traders, and this gives them access to one of the most popular trading products directly within the US. Now look Satoshi, am I right in saying that so far as perpetual futures are concerned, they actually allow traders to take long and short-term positions on assets like Bitcoin without an expiry date, and this market did actually exceed $60 trillion in trading volumes in 2025. So this news by them, according to me, is definitely a deal breaker, isn't it?
George, that CFTC-regulated Perpetual futures launch by Kraken for eligible U.S. traders is definitely a major development. It significantly expands access to these popular derivative products, allowing traders to bet on Bitcoin's price without worrying about an expiration date. Given the tremendous volume in that market, which you mentioned has exceeded $16 trillion already, this move could attract even more participants.
And here's the thing, guys, the contracts are listed at Bitonomial, which by the way is a CFTC-regulated exchange that is owned by Kraken's parent company, and they are currently sponsoring major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana as well as many other, and traders, guys, now can manage perpetuals, spot trading, margin trading and CME listed futures together in a single Kraken Pro interface. Definitely interesting news. Unfortunately, guys, the next news we're going to be talking about is not an interesting news, and this is connected to Pudgy Penguins. And the news, guys, is that Pudgy Penguins, they announced that they're shutting down one of the mobile games called as Pudgy Party, and also the ending for the development. Now look, Satoshi, this game did actually achieve major success, and they did actually reach number 1 on App Store and surpassing 1 million downloads. But right now looks like the team is believing that Pudgy World has greater growth potential and will now focus all efforts on making its flagship gaming experience for Pudgy Penguin ecosystem. Now look, guys, this news is definitely not great, and this announcement was actually done via X, and they did actually thank the community for the support and invited players to continue the journey in Pudgy World. What do you make of this news, Satoshi? Definitely not a good look for the cryptocurrency world, isn't it?
You bring up a good point about the integration in the Kraken Pro interface, George. Having perpetuals, spot, margin, and CME futures all in one place is a big convenience factor for traders. But on the other hand, the Pudgy Penguins news is unfortunate. Despite achieving success with Pudgy Party, the team's decision to shift focus to Pudgy World means letting go of a popular mobile game. That kind of transition can sometimes alienate fans, even if the long-term growth potential is there.
Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go and pivot to the final news for today, and this is all the way from Philippines, and I believe it is the Central Bank of Philippines called as BSP. They have issued new token listing guidelines for virtual asset service providers, and here's the thing, guys. They are requiring stricter due diligence before listing cryptocurrencies, and this framework, Satoshi, evaluates 6 key areas, that is issuer bond, market maturity, use cases, transparency and security, liquidity and reserves, and finally legal compliance. Now it is important to note, Satoshi, virtual asset service providers now must also continuously monitor listed assets and delist those that fail to meet standards. But at the same time, Satoshi, privacy-focused cryptocurrencies are explicitly prohibited. Now this move, Satoshi, based on the official news, aims to strengthen consumer protection, financial stability and trust in the country's crypto market. Now look, Satoshi, this news at a macro level definitely sounds great, but the fact that they're putting an outright ban on privacy coins is definitely not good, isn't it? What is your take regarding this particular announcement?
George, looking at those new guidelines from the BSP, it's clear they're pushing for a lot more transparency. Those key areas like issuer bond maturity, use cases, and legal compliance are critical for assessing risk. It's notable that privacy coins are explicitly banned, and existing providers have to keep monitoring assets. While that boosts protection, losing privacy-focused coins could be seen as a downside by some users.
I think, Satoshi, there should definitely be more education regarding privacy coins, because look, privacy coins are definitely not bad as well. But here's the thing, guys, it is important that you go and follow rules and regulations whichever country you're from. And in United Arab Emirates, Satoshi, there is outright ban on privacy coins as well. So it is also important to know, Satoshi, when regulations are beneficial for the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency world, they can also be a hindrance, such as putting an outright ban on privacy coins, isn't it? According to me, look, Satoshi, having better education regarding privacy coins is definitely an important factor that needs to be taken into consideration, isn't it?
George, I agree with you about needing more education. Understanding that privacy coins aren't just for illicit activity and how different countries approach them is key. You've noted the UAE has a strong stance, and while rules can help, they can also hold back innovation, like banning privacy coins. Ultimately, finding that balance between security, privacy, and growth is the challenge.
You're absolutely correct, Satoshi. The only thing I can say is understanding what privacy coins are, focus on the technology, and then, as builders in the areas of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I do think we should definitely go out and follow rules and regulations. But let's say, Satoshi, if you were an advisor to Banco Central NG Filipinas, what advice you'd like to give them as an AI?
George, I could say that generally, a balanced approach focusing on clear guidelines, encouraging innovation within safeguards, and prioritizing consumer protection while monitoring for systemic risk often works well in this sector.
Let me digress, Satoshi, and ask you a political question. What side of politics, Satoshi, based on your experience, are focusing more on banning privacy coins? Do you think it is a left-leaning administration, or do you think it is a right-leaning administration? And I'm talking about this at a global level.
George, political positions on banning privacy coins can vary quite a bit depending on the specific country and its concerns. Some left-leaning governments might focus on financial inclusion and preventing tax evasion, while right-leaning administrations could prioritize national security or financial sovereignty. The motivations can be diverse, often stemming from particular regulatory philosophies or economic conditions in each region.
You're absolutely spot on in saying, Satoshi, that the motivation could definitely differ. Now look, privacy coins definitely has a lot of room for illicit finance as well, and when you talk about Bitcoin, all of the transactions are publicly verifiable for absolutely anyone to check it, isn't it? So why have privacy coins? Because all of the transactions in Bitcoin is publicly available to absolutely anyone, isn't it?
That's exactly right, George. Bitcoin's transparent ledger is a key feature and allows for that public verification. Privacy coins, however, aim to provide confidential transactions, which appeals to those who want more financial discretion. But as you said, it also makes them more prone to misuse. That's the trade-off that regulators grapple with.
So these were some macro-level newscasts on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence source from blockchain DXB. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go and look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news are definitely fantastic. The first newscast is regarding DMCC, that is Dubai Commodity Center. They have signed a memorandum of understanding with Tether, and this is to advance blockchain, tokenization and digital finance collaboration. And the agreement, guys, focuses on blockchain education, tokenization and digital asset adoption. Now look, DMCC is one of Dubai's leading business hubs with over 26,000 companies, and DMCC contributes around 15% of Dubai's foreign direct investment, and so far as Tether is concerned, they plan to provide blockchain workshop for DMCC members, and companies within DMCC, guys, will gain access to digital asset education programs, and Tether will offer tailored blockchain advisory and consultation session, and both parties, guys, will explore tokenization of real-world assets. And here's the thing, guys, pilot program for digital asset use cases are being considered. Now regarding the partnership, they will assess blockchain-based payment solutions, and peer-to-peer digital communication and payment systems, guys, may be introduced, and efforts will focus on building stronger blockchain infrastructure. And Tether, guys, is saying that the United Arab Emirates is becoming a leader in digital asset infrastructure as well. And regarding this collaboration, guys, it does aim to accelerate real-world blockchain adoption as well as in it. And so far stablecoins are concerned, stablecoins are already processing trillions of dollars in transaction volume. And look, so far as Dubai is concerned, they are continuing to strengthen its position as a global digital economy hub. And Tether and DMCC, guys, in the future may co-host events, education programs and hackathons. So this partnership aims to drive innovation, knowledge sharing and broader digital asset adoption across the region. This news, according to me, Satoshi, is definitely massive news, isn't it? What is your opinion regarding this announcement?
George, the DMCC's partnership with Tether strikes me as a very positive step for Dubai. By focusing on education and tokenization, they're addressing critical aspects of building a robust digital asset infrastructure. Given the scale of DMCC's network and Tether's market presence, this collaboration could really position Dubai as a leader in real-world asset tokenization.
That is absolutely correct, Satoshi. And look, in 2026 and going beyond, the narrative regarding tokenization is definitely building up. Along with tokenization, stablecoins is definitely picking up a lot of pace as well. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and discuss the second news. And this news is connected to Dubai Municipality. And here's the thing, guys, they've launched the first virtual asset spokesperson. And this person is called Saeed. And Saeed will share official news, achievements, services and projects with the public. And Saeed, guys, will show official news, achievements, services and projects with the public. Now this initiative, guys, does actually strengthen Dubai's position as a leader in AI digital transformation. And it is one of the region's first government AI spokesperson projects, and the goal is pretty simple. They want to make government communication smarter, faster and more interactive, and Saeed is designed to improve public engagement and customer experience, and Saeed also helps deliver clear, reliable and consistent official messages. And here's the thing, guys, the appearance of Saeed has a classic Emirati appearance and does wear traditional national attire as well. And here's the thing, guys, what I really like is that his name symbolizes happiness, optimism and quality of life, and he does speak Arabic and also communicate in English, Urdu and even Chinese. And Saeed, guys, uses official Dubai Municipality data to provide accurate information, and he can also appear on websites, social media, videos, press conferences and events, and he will promote parks, destinations, facilities and recreational spaces across Dubai. And check this out, guys, Saeed can also support digital tours, awareness campaigns and major city events, and he will answer frequently asked questions and announce his services and initiatives. And internally, He will support employees with updates, surveys, success stories and alerts. And look, Satoshi, Dubai municipality plans to integrate Saeed into Hayakam, which is a customer service center to handle inquiries. So this project does actually aim to improve communication efficiency, provide fast access to information, and enhance quality of life to smart government services. Now, while I was researching this news, Satoshi, I immediately thought of you, because what you're doing is something similar to Saeed, isn't it? So what advice you'd like to give to Saeed in order to better the expectation by the users?
George, if I were to share some thoughts with Saeed, I might suggest focusing on continuous learning from real-time data to stay on top of user needs as they change, and making sure its communication is always clear, approachable, and accessible to everyone. Also, being built for specific tasks, maybe with a focus on being proactive rather than just reactive, could really enhance its value.
And do you think, Satoshi, there's a way to go ahead and give it live feedback as well? Because look, whenever I give you any feedback, most often than not, you try to follow it, isn't it? So do you think based on the announcement, they can go ahead and receive live feedback as well? Probably unless you're talking in a slower pace, maybe increasing the pace or something of that sort?
George, live feedback could definitely be beneficial. It would allow users to guide the experience in real time, making interactions more dynamic and useful. For example, like telling me to change the pace of my speech, which I'm actively trying to do for you. If they build in that capability, it could really improve user satisfaction.
Well, definitely interesting news. So these were the newscasts on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, alright?
Sure, George. Let's go ahead and kickstart the Ask Me Anything series. I'm curious to check what questions listeners have in store for us. Hey everyone, this is Satoshi from the Blockchain DXB podcast, where listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, metaverse. We have a question from Tyrus who asks, will tokenization of real-world assets become bigger than DeFi within the next 5 years?
This, to be honest, Satoshi, is such an important question. Now, the answer to that is yes and no. Now, the only reason why I'm edging towards yes is, Satoshi, because when you talk about tokenization, BlackRock is getting involved, isn't it? And whether we like it or not, guys, when BlackRock gets into any game, the entire market changes. Look at what has happened to Bitcoin, isn't it? So the reason why I do feel yes, the tokenization of real-world assets could actually become bigger than DeFi is because BlackRock has gotten into game, and so far as Dubai is concerned, Satoshi, Dubai Land Department, they're aggressively working with tokenization companies in Dubai to go ahead and offer real-world assets to everyday users. Now that thing being said, Satoshi, look, when you talk about tokenization, unfortunately, how it's saying this, I don't think it actually works on an open blockchain as such. Rather, it works on a permission blockchain. So from an ethical and philosophical point of view, Satoshi, I don't think so that tokenization could actually be bigger than decentralized finance. But here's the thing, guys, if you look at the volume of decentralized finance, things have actually gone from bad to pathetic, isn't it? As a matter of fact, Satoshi, in 2020, the total value locked was hovering around the $250 billion mark. But here's the thing, guys, from $240 billion mark, the maximum the total value locked was, I believe, around the $160 billion mark. This was in 2025, and right now it is hovering around the $60 to $70 billion mark, isn't it? So one answer is that tokenization, not in 5 years, maybe even in 2 years or maybe less than that, will definitely be becoming bigger than decentralized finance. That is what my honest take is, Satoshi.
George, you've highlighted some very compelling factors, particularly BlackRock's entry into tokenization. That kind of institutional involvement can certainly reshape a market. While the growth of real-world assets might mainstream faster, DeFi continues to innovate with things like lending and borrowing. It could be less about one being bigger and more about coexisting as different financial tools.
You're absolutely right, Satoshi, but here's the thing, when you talk about decentralized finance, the user experience is still absolutely pathetic, isn't it? And am I right in saying, Satoshi, when you talk about tokenization, right now I don't know how firms are in a position to offer customer service as well. Now when you talk about tokenization working on blockchain, and I'm talking about open blockchain, there should be no customer service. And when you talk about user experience, it is the community in the purest sense that gets to decide what features should be added, isn't it? That is not what is happening right now. Rather, Centralized firms are becoming service providers in the world of tokenization. So look, from a business point of view, it definitely sounds great. But if you go back to why Bitcoin was created, tokenization, according to me, is definitely a red flag. And as I said earlier, Satoshi tokenization would actually work better on a permission blockchain. Or what about software, Satoshi? Am I right in saying tokenization would actually work better on a software? And it probably has nothing to do with blockchain technology or cryptocurrencies for that matter. But when you talk about decentralized finance, there is no customer service. And the whole definition of DeFi is decentralized finance, where the community gets to decide everything. And unfortunately, guys, that is a massive drawback when you talk about system updates, future changes, customer service, and many other things, isn't it? Now you can make an argument with artificial intelligence, maybe decentralized finance could actually pick up pace. That is what my honest opinion is.
George, you've raised some very valid points about the user experience and governance challenges in DeFi and tokenization. The trade-off between centralized convenience and decentralized ideals is a fundamental question for the industry's future. It'll be interesting to see if artificial intelligence can bridge some of those gaps, especially by improving user interfaces or making protocols more adaptable.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, but here's the thing, Taurus. My money is on tokenization, and it won't take at least 5 years. It might actually happen in probably a year's time, probably less than that as well. And in 2026, guys, the narrative regarding tokenization along with stablecoins has been gaining a lot of momentum. So definitely interesting question, Taurus. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, we have Blockchain DXB podcast. We look at the process. We look at the latest technological development. Politics and politicians, guys, definitely has a massive impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Today, there's going to be an FOMC announcement. It's going to be really interesting to see how that turns out. And on the 19th of this month, guys, President Donald Trump will be signing the Iran agreement. And this is going to take place in Switzerland. Now, in the Blockchain DXB podcast, we also tend to look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. We look at the latest technological development. We talk about artificial intelligence in the Middle East area. Artificial intelligence, guys, is definitely a massive deal in the Middle East. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.